Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Janelle Slade. Weather topping the news again today.
This time, a gorgeous sunny Friday across the region. Warmth that is going to carry into your Saturday, but don't get too comfortable because come Sunday, freezing temperatures and snow can turn to slick streets and highways in an instant.
Well, that horrifying video just released today, a solid reminder that winter can quickly catch drivers off guard.
Check out the full video here. The Wyoming Highway Patrol releasing the footage of a crash just last week on Halloween between a semi and a highway patrol car. The view you're seeing there is from the rear camera of the patrol car. The trooper was pulled over to assist a stranded driver, but was still in the driver's seat and buckled in as the semi careened into her car. Wyoming Highway Patrol says the semi driver was traveling too fast for those hazardous road conditions.
Now, thankfully, the trooper sustained only minor injuries. The truck driver was not injured but was cited for careless driving. Wyoming Highway Patrol officials say they released this video to raise awareness of the dangers that emergency personnel deal with every day.
Bob McGuire joining us now. I think no one's complaining about our weather today, Bob, but a lot of folks aren't going to like what's coming. You're talking about a dramatic drop in temperature.
Certainly not one you'd want to play golf in. Let me do it like you did today. Let me show you what we have going for us. Now, of course, today was a great day. Look at that. I mean, it was sunny skies. We had a great day. But now, tonight, look what's happening. By tomorrow morning, you're looking at a new cold front dropping down from Canada. We think it'll start pushing its way into the Billings area about maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock and producing scattered rain showers. And then after that, another surge of cold air moves in on top of that rain, turns it into freezing rain. And then we'll probably see snow after that off and on throughout much of the day on Sunday. In fact, we're going to be picking up a little bit of snow out of this thing. We do have several winter storm watches. You can see out in the west anywhere from 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 inches of snow. Up there by Phillips County, maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow. But here's the big granddaddy. Winter weather advisories across all of Montana. Here in the Billings area, 2 to 4 inches of snow and glazed ice expected to come our way. So look out for that. It's going to be a nasty night tomorrow night on into Sunday. But up until then, the weather's going to be just as nice Saturday morning and afternoon as we had today. Let's go back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Well, it seems like nice fall days like today have been few and far between this year.
Q2's Rob Griggs got out earlier today to take advantage of it and also take a look at what could be in store for the rest of the month.
So I had to move the shovel in the ice melt just to get to this thing today because I've had to use the shovel in the ice melt a lot this fall. In addition to several snowstorms already, we had the second coldest October on record, and only 7 of the 31 days were at or above average. So what does the rest of November look like? Well, at the moment, it's possible we'll see above average temps in the western U.S., and we might see drier than average weather for eastern Montana. That's all well and good, but with all the ups and downs we've had, and now with Bob McGuire forecasting yet another blast of Arctic weather on the way for this Sunday, I'm not going to waste these couple of days when pleasant fall weather decides to pay us a little visit. Out of the office for a little while, Rob Griggs, MTN News.
Thanks, Rob, and please be careful. Well, U.S. Senator Jon Tester was in Helena today to meet with Montanans about the hurdles faced by those with disabilities. But he also talked with Montana reporters about the hot topic in the nation's capital, the possible impeachment of President Trump. Now, Tester, a Democrat, noted that the impeachment process is in the House and says it shouldn't be affecting business in the Senate. But he says Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell is now keeping many bills off the floor, such as funding for community health centers and other appropriations bills. And still, Tester says the Republican majority continues to act quickly to confirm federal judges nominated by the president. In response, McConnell's office tells MTN News that Democrats are to blame for holding up defense spending with a filibuster and violating a budget deal struck earlier this year. Now, Tester says issues like health care and infrastructure need to come first. But when Montanans do ask him about the possible impeachment, he says it's a process that the Senate may have to deal with.
Once the House gets done with the process, if they choose to move forward and send it over to the Senate, in other words, if they vote to impeach and send it over to the Senate, then we'll deal with the facts that come out and act as a jury with the Chief Justice overseeing the Senate and the senators being the jury, and deal with the facts and make the call to the best of our ability, either to acquit or to convict.
It takes a 2/3 majority of the Senate to convict the president on impeachment charges.
Montana Republicans hoping to gain traction in 2020 by establishing a Trump victory team for the state. 6 elected Republican officials from Montana will chair that effort. The list includes Attorney General Tim Fox, Secretary of State Corey Stapleton, State Auditor Matt Rosendale, Congressman Greg Gianforte, Senator Steve Daines, and State Superintendent Elsie Arntzen. The Montana Republican Party says it's about having Republicans supporting other Republicans. Many of the co-chairs face their own elections, including against each other in the 2020 primary. This team is also part of a nationwide fundraising effort for the president and the Republican National Committee. According to the FEC website, between January 1st and September 30th, the Trump victory team has raised more than $65 million. The president filed his re-election campaign on the same day he was inaugurated, but officially launched his campaign in June of this year.
In other news tonight, a national no-kill advocacy center says about 6 million animals enter shelters every year, and about 2 million of those animals are killed. Today, Q2's Zoe Zandora caught up with a group of volunteers traveling across the country in an effort to save the lives of 3.
About 6 million animals enter shelters every year, and approximately 2 million animals are killed, roughly 22% of them being dogs and 45% of them being cats.
As we help facilitate rescues for animals that are on the kill list and place them either in foster homes, forever homes, or in shelters that are really no-kill.
Some of the many groups trying to make a difference, 7 volunteers transporting 3 dogs on the long leg of a trip from Panhandle, Texas to Bozeman, Montana.
Saved just days away from euthanasia. They are fantastic travelers. They're all so sweet. They're going to make somebody really, really good pets.
Do your homework. We really do a lot to take care of our pets and love them. We just want to bring kind of awareness to this.
I didn't know if my methods of training and interacting with them were going to be as effective, but it turns out it's worked great.
The woman housing these 3 dogs, Alana Smith, and she says it's extremely upsetting to think about how many millions of pets are put to sleep in our country every year.
If you can make a difference with a few of them, I feel like that's all you can do. And if everybody would do what they can do, whether it's donating to a rescue that pulls them and finds home for them, or supporting a shelter, especially a non-kill shelter, you can just do whatever you can do to make a difference.
3 more dogs saved, awaiting their forever home. In Billings, Zoe Zandora, MTN News.
Thanks, Zoe. And Alana says she has already found a home for one of the dogs.
Well, a Billings dentist helped veterans today with free dental work. Winter Holler Dentistry's second annual Make a Smile Great Again helped about 60 veterans. That event gives to veterans and raises awareness about veterans' difficulty in qualifying for dental care. Today, dentists gave dentistry exams, cleanings, fillings, implants, whatever needed to be done. The event honors those who served right now close to Veterans Day.
Pretty good, man. It's really awesome. I'm appreciative. It's really cool.
These are people that have left their families for great periods of time, extended periods of time, and served us in a way that allows us to live in a country that provides great things for us. So I think it's the least we can do to give back to that population.
And many others helped, including Ballistic Barbershop, which gave free haircuts to the veterans.
And there's more news from across our state tonight. Happy birthday, Montana. The statehood centennial bell rang this morning, commemorating Montana's admittance into the Union 130 years ago and honoring new Montanans History Teacher of the Year. Join Russ for that story and much more on tonight's MTN Statewide News on the CW.
But first, still to come on tonight's 5:30 News, business owners near the Madison River feel up a creek without a paddle over proposed regulations for the river. We'll hear from them.
And in sports, Scott has final thoughts from both your Cats and Grizz entering tomorrow's Week 10 football matchups.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.